Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in City Skylines, where guys, last episode we did some big downtown expansions within SnowTown. We've actually increased the population quite a bit, which is a little bit crazy right now of how big the town, the place, the city is now becoming. We also added in our first ferry lines within, pretty much across the river. We've got 3 new ferry lines set up right now, which is taking passengers from one side of the river to the other, which is going to be a very kind of a big backbone to the public transport leading across that little area, and hopefully it might reduce some of the traffic on the highway and passing through. Now today I want to try and create some alleviation roads, some stress relief roads. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but towards the Manhattan style area there is a lot of traffic kind of coming from there, obviously, as there would be because it's a really big built up area. But at the minute the only kind of on and off section to the main structure of the highway is currently this area, and at peak times we are seeing a lot of traffic starting to build up on this. So we kind of need to, because they all want to go to this road anyway, so we kind of need to give them a few more access points to be able to get there. And what I'm thinking about doing is creating one around this section just here, and then eventually one to this road there. So what it allows us to do is traffic coming down, and you can see as they're trying to turn off and go left and right, if we had a turn off here first, you know, that kind of satisfies these guys over here and over on this side of the Manhattan Island to turn off there, thus not going down here. And then vehicles wanting to come down here and go up this way, or potentially go that way if they're coming at the moment, they're coming from here and here, they've got to get up to this section. So having it there just kind of has a little bit of stress relief for that junction. You know, it's not going to be the be-all end-all, the problem solver, but it's kind of what we need to do. And then eventually I need to add one here for this area because that might get overloaded and so on and so on. So if I can divert some of the traffic going up to this junction there to maybe over here, then hopefully things will flow pretty nice, because it has a knock-on effect. You know, it slows down the highway then, which can lead up to having problems on this junction. We're having problems here, which is then backs up to this junction. It becomes quite a big mess, so we're going to hopefully add some relief to this area. Now if you do enjoy this, guys, and you are enjoying SnowTown and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. Oh, what's this? Was there a fire? Oh my goodness me, was there a fire and no one told us? I've recently downloaded the Natural Disasters DLC. It was the only one that I never owned, and it does kind of change some of your save games right now to the fact that we've now just literally had a forest fire. Ooh, it's not good, isn't it? Oh, let me just double check and make sure that the disasters are off. I think the dynamic weather's off as well. Let me use dynamic weather, put that back on. Fire spread disabled. Okay, no random disasters. I don't want anything destroying SnowTown right now. I'm not all about that life. But yeah. Oh dear. Hopefully it kind of comes back and grows back a little bit. I felt it was like a big oil patch then for a second. So how are we going to tackle this? Well, I want to do something kind of similar to this kind of junction over here, where it comes off, it bends round and connects to the road. It's quite a cool little thing, nice little slip road. It's not going to be the main junction like this is over here. It's going to be a nice little support junction, because I'm hoping to have like a main one over this side as well. So what I'm thinking about doing, which will be pretty cool, is say I had the on and off ramp here for this side of the highway. It came off and it bent down, and if I delete this road, we kind of bend it to kind of connect to that bit. And then on this side, we push the kind of the turn off a little bit further up, which then bends and connects to that bit. If I delete that crossing and move the crossings further down, that would work really well. So let's kind of see. Let me kind of delete it to that point where it's a little bit sticking out, and delete that there to where that bit's sticking out, and we'll see what we can get from it. Now going up to the points, I'm going to make sure that both points, and we have to make sure that we use the 2-lane highway. So if I was to kind of go straight across there, it almost connects about 27. This 27 as well, so we could borderline make them identical, which again is a big bonus for us. So, oh, not the 2-lane highway, so we need to do this one, the 2-way highway. I do got that right, yeah, because basically I'm replicating also this, where it kind of comes off both sides, and where is it over here? Yeah, 2-lane, because you can drive on both sides depending on which way you're coming from. So that's what we got to kind of make sure that we kind of get set up, otherwise it's going to be a little bit awkward. So, okay, there we go, and let's first do it on the ground before we start elevating it. So if I then go up by... actually, let me... No, I don't want to delete it. Okay, let me just go to there for now. So if I went for a 7 by 7 bend, right, and then if I went across by 10, and then we went for a 6 by 6 towards facing that. Right, okay. So, again, a 7. Oh, it's going to be a little bit... There we go, 7 by 7. Across by 10. And then it became a 6 by 6, didn't it? So, a 6 by 6 and facing it. How far off? Okay, do you know, that's actually not too bad, is it? It adds a little bit of... What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? It adds a little bit of oomph to this kind of area. It just kind of breaks away from the norm, from the normal junctions that we kind of create. This one is like, I don't what do we call it? The claw, the figure of 8. I don't know what we would potentially call this. But let me now elevate this section here. And we'll do it to that bit there. Same with that. So that's all pretty much good there. And then what we do is we'll make both this point and that point there be the same height as... Oh, hang on. I pressed the... I did terrain, didn't I? Yeah, make sure it's the same height as this object there. And then what we do is we then select all these little points going down to there and to there. And then we then slope them. So we have a nice gradual incline as they work our way up. So that's going to be pretty cool as well, watching it kind of slightly go over the waterfront. So they're the same here then. To there. And then we slope that. So we have a nice little gradual incline. I might be able to get away with... Let me see on this. Nah. Let's go. Why won't it upgrade? Do I have to anarchy it right now? Okay, we'll play along with that then. Unless I make it go up a little bit higher from further on. No, we'll keep it like that. So, then what we do is we currently, from a point connecting, it goes by 6. That should be by 6 as well. Yeah. We just literally, that goes in that direction. We'll cut it across by a 9. And then do that one by a 9 as well. Now, obviously, this one's facing the wrong way. Right. We then use our move it tool to kind of create a nice little bend. So it's not like 90-degree turns almost. And then we make sure that the lane management does that. So you know which way you're kind of going. And then we're switching this then into a 2-lane highway. Just this little stretch there. So we can do our little lane mathematics. So you pretty much, if you're going straight on, you need to be on the 2 outer lanes. And then when you're joining on, the 2 outer lanes stay to the left and the joining on section is just there. So that is a way that we can make sure the traffic doesn't trip over itself when it joins or turns off the highway on this side. And the fact that we got the junctions from here and here separated by quite some distance, I'm hoping it kind of leads to not having too much traffic issues. You probably still get traffic, you know, here and there, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me just turn these traffic lights off there. I'll turn them off there as well, just so we can kind of keep it semi-flowing. And let's try and do the same on this side. And then we'll play around with the heights again. So, it was a by a 9 there. By a 9 there. And then obviously we flip that one around. bring them in so it's not such a 90-degree. Looks pretty cool. It mimics it wonderful, which I really do like. We then upgrade this road here to a 2-laner. And then make sure that this is then all, the lane maths is all pretty much done. And there we go. So, very, very simple, but yeah, it should be really, really effective of being able to kind of bring vehicles on and off the highway there. Now, is the inclines enough? They feel like they gradually go up, which is pretty good. So I don't feel like I've got much to worry about on that front. I actually like it. It's a weird design, but I like it. It adds a little bit of character to this kind of section. So, you'd have to give it a few minutes, you know, if everyone's to update their routes, understand that this is possible. Again, it won't alleviate all the traffic from that section. It's just going to complement it just nice. And for every vehicle that turns off here and here, or turns on here and here, is one less vehicle using this junction. So people around here might benefit more because they can, then again, some people might use this, but if you lived in here, you no longer have to turn off there. You could come down, jump off you go. So all the roads are up and running, they're all connected, no issues on that front. Same for here as well, no issues there, glorious. So then, the next question is this section. Now, I've got to sort this out first before we do anything on this section, because if I don't do it now, I might build too close and then might lose the space to kind of work with. Now, that's going to be, you know, the generic kind of on and off section like there, like we have over here. Do we have any other ones like that? What do we have down here? We have a little bit different over here, don't we? Yeah. We have... No, yeah, there we go. We have another loose one over on this side as well. So that's pretty much what we're going to create. It's just going to be very, very basic and simple. Now, I'm not sure if anyone's going to use it just yet. I'm not sure on that. But if it's in there from the get-go, then at least we're not pushing or diverting traffic in different ways. So there we go. We're getting them using it right now. So it's pretty cool. So just give that time to alleviate itself. I might have to do some lane management on that, but we'll see how that kind of turns out. So here then, here. So if we, let's take a look at this. So if I pick this point there, and if I push this up by, say, 25. So I know what I'm working with, 25 there. And then, if I just kind of take it from here, go up by... That's 25. And we'll just go by 10, right? Right, just so I've got those lines perfect, and you know, they're pretty much all the same distance. Oh snap! I messed that one up, didn't I? Well, let's try that one again over here. So to 10. Right, let me delete that. I want to try and get them very, very similar in length to 10. And then that's where they'll join on and off, and then they just literally drag themselves down to this section. Okay. So let's start then with the bend on, and we'll just do it by a... Right, we'll go for a 9. Go for a 9 on both sides there. So 9. Well, that's perfect 9 just there. So make sure these are all facing the right way. There we go. Bam. And then bam. And let me just sort out the move it tool right now to make them a little bit better. And I've got to update the highway above as well to a 2-laner. So it's a little bit nicer. And that just literally comes straight down connections. So they're going to be a little bit close. You know, like this. So then again, I could have the option to kind of push them further out like this as well. Do you reckon they are way too close? Yeah, I have that feeling that they are, aren't they? Okay. So if I push them up to here instead, so I'm pretty much coming. It's like I'm coming out by 2. Yeah. All right, I got it, boys. So the more space I put between each side, the further out these junctions are going to be, and then the more of a build up I can have, the more capacity I can kind of have, which is what I'm trying to say. So this then kind of changes its whole directory. So if I go by, so it looks like a 15 could be the one to push it out, which is actually quite reasonable. So another 15 there. Well, that one looks like it's cut a little bit short. I think I did a small 15. So let me kind of go a little bit wider. If I get rid of that. $15 there. Yeah, it does work, but that is because I turned that off there. It kind of messes up slightly. Right, let me pause because that is now, it is messing up big time. It's because I dropped it down and then kind of like I got like a weird thing in it now. Right, there we go. That's better. Damn, boy. Right, that's gonna be that's gonna be a little bit difficult to push it up to it, isn't it? Yeah. So 15 there. That 14 is... No, we can kind of get away with that as well. We can kind of get away with that. Which, looking at it, I don't really have to do much kind of playing around then with the move it tool. So that's all going the right direction. This is not. Okay, there we go. So like I said, what we're going to do is simply just bring it straight down and then straight up. So straight down, straight up. No messing about. Simple, simple, simple. And then we just then sort out the elevation change. So we go from there to there, which we then slope the objects. There to there to there. So that was a little bit longer. Slope them. So we do it all the way up to just before the road bends around. There, so that one's a little bit longer on that side. And then we switch these then into a 2-lane highway because we've got the on and off ramp areas. There we go. There we go. And then that literally works like this. So you're joining on. So you're already in your lane. So if I make these all so no one's tripping over one another, you turn off there wonderfully. It should do the job. Shouldn't have any issues, no stresses, no traffic build-ups. It should flow quite nice. Bam there, bam there. Okay, just do it just after as well so I don't cross over directly after. And we'll do it here as well. Okay. So that's all done then. So the only problem that we would probably then have is what happens down here, but I'll leave that until we do start getting the problem so I can, you know, see how it goes down. So if we turn off there then, again, it's not really going to make much sense for many of the vehicles. Probably only if you want to go straight to the stadium maybe. But then I don't know if that would be a quicker route to go down there. I don't know. But it's there ready for us anyway when we do start working with this area, which should be pretty sweet to kind of get in. So how is this junction now doing then? So we've got rid of the bit of the backlog right now. And it's just the remainder of the traffic pushing itself down. But we still have, from last episode, everybody still moving in this area too. So I've also got that kind of going for me as well. Now. Public transport. So we don't really have something solid, apart from the monorail that kind of goes down, that cuts through this area directly to here. So I did originally have plans to then maybe kind of bend this to go down there, or have this crossover. No, I think it was this one to come down and then bend up, maybe, because I can then potentially create a loop. How is that going to work? No, we got this. Sorry, we've got this one here above coming straight down. That was going to kind of go down to end here, and this one will go all the way across that way. So should we extend that subway line a bit more then, so we can benefit a little bit more from it? Or should we try and integrate like a public transport hub? Now, we got the bus to metro. Which is a bus terminal and a metro station where tracks go in 4 directions. Oh, damn. That does, doesn't it? Now, that could be a really good one to if I incorporated it around here. One going straight down, one going across. And it incorporates buses. Ooh. That's going to be the one, boys. That's going to be the one right now. But I'm going to have to delete this. And let me delete more of this section. Let me get rid of the anarchy as well. So bus to metro hub goes in 4 different ways. Bam. So let's take a quick look at it then. So, oh, that's a point. Where are they? What side is it on? Space already occupied. Let me just drop it there real quick. I'm not sure which way they're coming from to drive into it. It makes it look like they're going to be over on that side. Right, I can't put a bus route down until I got one of those down. I suppose it doesn't really matter, right? I don't know. This is. I don't think I can't remember the last time you're using this. Let me just drop this here real quick. Right, if I had to stop there and then... Oh, no, it can come in that way. Okay. So let me delete that again. Don't need it now. Right, I was having little issues then trying to kind of figure out how that would work. So this then would be obviously underground. Go from there and we'll connect it directly to there. Because we have a stop just there right now. Which if I then drag that to here and it will go back. And a stop there. So that does what it originally did anyway. And then we can potentially continue it to go in that direction. But I have this one like even further underground of it. Which can be the direct connection from this one over here. So if I brought this down just to there. And I brought this a little bit further out. Now, can I get... Where does the bend take place? Just here? (15 by 15). That's pretty good. And then we drag this from over here then. So we're now trying to intertwine lots of different connections. So that goes to there. I don't know if it's got rid of these 2 here now yet. So add one there. Add one there. So we have this little like crisscrossover section just there anyway. But this one is now integrated in one whole area. Which means I can then bring in a few buses and whatnot. But as of right now though, it's set up for just subways. Or metros should I say. We also have the in-city bus thingy. Oh, does that allow out-of-city buses? I'm not sure if it does or not. That one's in-city buses platform. This one. This is going to do in-city buses. I'm not too sure. Then we have the metro in-city bus hub. That's only a singular one. We have the ferry bus exchange. International airport. We yet to get an airport in as well. That's something else as well. Monorail train hub. So that is the monorail bus. This is the monorail train. And subway too. Don't forget that. But we don't really have any areas just yet where we would kind of benefit from that transport hub. So we also have that thrown on us. Now, this junction. Still getting some build up, some backup right now. So what we reckon? Should we split it into a into 2 lanes here as it kind of comes on the approach? So let me get back above ground. This is my next idea. Okay. My next idea, and I think we'll do it to this one first. So I think I'll split it by 2 at this section there. So what we then do is we make this one solely do that right-hand turn. And this one can be for the left-hand turn. There's no way that they want to go straight on because it literally just turned off. But what it does then, it brings the traffic down and allows it to split into 2 lanes, thus getting more vehicles off the junction. Right? And then push them down going this way. Obviously, I gotta more try and solve the root cause. And what I could do here as well, I can make it a little bit more long-winded for these guys where you can only go straight on at this point. Stop them all trying to turn in just here. So they might choose to turn in here or drive further down. Just to kind of allow it to flow a little bit more. Now I did that here. It'd probably be ideal or beneficial to do it on the other roads too. So if I upgraded you and you, and then we set this up as well where that's that turn just there, that turn is just there, bam, and that bam in there. I always think those explosions is something going down, but really it's just the thunder. It always scares me and terrifies me. Right, that there is just from coming off it. Now, granted, I could do it from entering on as well. But what do you reckon on that? I'm going to sort out this issue too, though. The vehicles going down this way. So they get to here, and they're pretty much crossing or going straight over. Now, do I have any junction restriction? No, they all flow. There's no one really crossing the roads, are they? That's stopping or slowing things down. But then again, when you look after the junction, it's not the actual junction itself. It's vehicles coming down to this section. And then you could argue it's then people crossing just here, who would then potentially cross over there. So maybe I create some crossing paths. So it didn't really make much sense. But if I do this, quickly pause, where no one can cross the roads there. No one can cross the roads here. It will make sense in just a minute. Right, no one can cross just here. So we'll just keep those ones kind of slightly like that. And then we'll create our very own pedestrian crossings. Right. So the path just here. So we can come out of it and let's say I went for... Now, normally I would bridge it over, but I'm thinking this side will kind of go underground. So if I bring this out by... Let's see, if I go down by 10, how does that look from the upside? 10 by 4. We'll see on that. We'll see on that. Do it on here again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's by 3. So bring that up like that. I'll have to play around with it. And then 10 by 4. Come back up again. So we just do the simple connections like that. But again, it still doesn't solve the issue. But so I run one through the middle. Because if you're on this side, say you come down there, you want to go that way. I'm just kind of giving them the option to do what they want to do. And that goes across there. So I'm going to put that one in there just for now. It will get onto the right side of the road that they need to get to at the minute. But I'm not sure if that is... It could be a little bit too short on that distance. Damn. The thunder and lightning, boys. The thunder and lightning. So what it allows us to do is not have vehicles crossing over. What are the junction restrictions just here then? So allowing them to kind of continue to flow through. So the more vehicles that flow through here, the less are getting caused here. But again, this is also a problem on itself. Now it might beg the question, yo, stick a freaking roundabout on this bad boy. But I want to see if once the backlog is gone, whether then I can solve it without doing that. Because I don't really want to stick a roundabout there, even though... You know, it's kind of pointing out you're saying I can stick a roundabout here right now. I'm hoping I can kind of try and solve it. Now that's doing wonderful, I might have to stick one over on this side. Because this right now allows them to go straight in and do what they need to do. So that's now kind of flowing quite nice. It's just then waiting for the vehicles to kind of get over here. That is our next kind of problemo. So again, we'll fast forward it, or as much as we can, just on the off chance I can pass those vehicles through there. But the backlog is quite large, so it's going to be happening for quite some time. Everything in me is like, you know, trying not to stick a roundabout on this. I don't know why I'm so against putting a roundabout on that junction. I don't know. We'll let some more time pass by anyway, because I want to try and replicate this on this section too. So if I just move this over to this side and bring the paths back out, so by 4, oh, I have to move this one as well. Move that just over there. Apparently doesn't have power. Oh snap! Wait, why don't we have power? Oh, this is burnt down. Which provided power for a lot of places then. It's a good job I noticed that then. I wasn't even paying attention. I think the lightning has taken out that power grid, didn't it? Right, back to here then. So minus 10. There we go. Boom, there we go. Boom, there we go. I can never do this one, it's kind of weird. Boom, there we go. So then straight across, and we do straight down the middle, just so they got the option to, you know, go where they need to get to. So at least we got that in there then, so they can do what they need to do on this side. Now I'll probably implement another one here as well, but we'll see how that goes. So there's a lot of vehicles then flowing through here, which means, okay, this backlog here is now cleared. It's now this backlog we got to clear too, which is now off the highway. You see why I was against doing a roundabout straight away? I know it would be beneficial in the long run, but it's like I don't know how this junction is now going to react with these improvements I've just done. So rather than stick a roundabout on straight away, just kind of let the traffic flow through and then see where the chips may fall. But again, it's still a little bit complex, a little bit too OTT. So what I could also do as well, something else, just kind of throw it out there, is what if I did like what this happens here, where this road here is elevated over this one and then the junction's further inwards, thus allowing the traffic underneath to pass through, and the junction happens just up here instead. Obviously that's just, the argument then is you just throw in the traffic to a different junction. That's then the argument you could potentially make, but you never know, it could work. It could legit work. It would slightly change my monorail kind of setup, but there's worse things to happen. Really, isn't there? What if I just put the traffic lights back on for now? So I'll put them back on for now and see how they kind of play out. And then we'll get added in on here, because I feel like now not many people are using the ferry pier because I've got rid of the crossings. It's now a little bit more long-winded to walk to get over to this side. Unless they're walking straight out of that side there, which I think that's what they're doing anyway, so I think we're kind of okay. Right. Should we take a look at doing this? Just trying to think, or is the traffic light's going to be enough? No, the backlog's coming back up again. Right, okay, let's sort this out then. Because what I also could do is, the reason I don't want to stick a roundabout on is because literally the only reason I don't want to stick a roundabout in is because personally in my head I'm thinking it's going to look kind of slightly-ish terrible. But the road is not that much elevated here anyway. And all that there is really traffic trying to get down to this area. Should we just bite the bullet and throw a roundabout on? We got a lot of vehicles then coming out of this way, and they're trying to get over that direction. Right, okay. Forget it. Right, we can delete all this just for a second, so I've got space to kind of maneuver. Right, I'm going to do my little overpass like I just mentioned. So this is probably going to mess up a few things. But hold on. We'll see how they go. We'll see how they go right now. So again, this is what I'm doing right now to avoid placing down a freaking roundabout. When all logic is pointing towards, yo, Seniac, you need a freaking roundabout. So if I go up by 20 to this point there, and then we just pass over, and it goes straight back down. So a little bit OTT this, but we'll sort out all the slopes and the angles in just a memento. So that literally does that, okay? Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. But the only downside is the fact that the monorails need to go their routes. Now, what we have is, let me go back to the monorails. I think we are we using, is there a certain one that we're using to make the turn or something like that? If I just put it back to play, actually no, don't put it into play just yet because we don't have power. No, I can't pass that under just yet. I'll write that back over to there. Right, just for the sake of like getting it all working again. Well, I'm going to have to anarchy that there. Right, for the sake of it all working and back up and running, I want to see what complains. So I know this had a stop that went a bit further up, which is now not going to have said stop. Right? But the traffic is now underneath. Again, like I said, it just pushes the traffic to then this junction. But what it does mean is, if you're coming from this direction, then your junction's here. If you wanted to get to the highway, your junction's either here or down here. That's how that then would work. And again, that's going to take some time to kind of, you know, see itself and pass itself through. But then again, I can also make and extend this potentially. Potentially what I could do is extend this whole bridge all the way over to here, so it passes over this side, like literally cuts out that whole island. Then meaning that would then, they will have to then use either this junction or the underground highway on this junction over here, which would free up a lot of traffic, because then we have like a complete pass-through route. See, that's interesting, but then if you want to get to the stadium, it's like then you have to go way up here to kind of go across there and whatnot. It completely changed all that, but you can use the monorail. So I've got quite a few options there to play around with. So yeah, like I said there, it does kill off this left-hand turn. I think they'd use this here, this monorail as that stop just there. So it does kind of mess me up on that front. But I just want to get this traffic out and see where it flows and what it ultimately kind of does. So it is funneling slowly but surely, but I think the only benefit was from having that also there is vehicles went across this way. But they're arguably just wanting to get onto the highway, aren't they? And then if I stopped, I was going to say if I stopped that there, but it still doesn't stop vehicles trying to cross over. So we're in a little bit of a predicament on this kind of side then, aren't we? With what we actually fully do with the vehicles. So maybe doing this, not really the best option, and maybe a roundabout could be the better option, but it's like it's weird how I just don't want to touch a roundabout, isn't it? It really is. I just feel like it messes up the whole vibe of this area. That's how I feel anyway. And then it's like the underground highway here is not fully doing what I want it to do, but then again, it is. It's just the sheer amount of vehicles that are trying to get down here. And now we're getting the backlog up to here because they want to get to there. So it is a funny one, isn't it? It really is a funny one. So let's go back then to placing down a roundabout. Not saying it's going to solve the issues, because again, we have issues up here. That's not roundabout driven. So get that connected to there. Get this as a bridge to there. What? I've just said that as a bridge and it's gone there. Oh my good god. Why is it doing that? Right, it's up by 5. 5 down to connect. And then push that back up to there. I don't know, it's then chosen to do a bridge route. And then we also have to make sure that we have right, if I go there to there, so that passes over, so that would then solve the monorail issue we're just having there. Brings all this back into fruition then. So then the argument is, yo, why don't you just stick a freaking roundabout on there? Right. So if I bring up my roundabout mod, and we have to go for the 2-lane highway, and if I went by 60, again, this doesn't solve anything. It just passes the troubles into a different direction. Now, the next argument is it's a roundabout. So then you want to shy away from these 90-degree turns, or shall we just kind of see how it rolls first? Either way, I got to sort out the monorails. So these then pass directly over. That will bring it to just here. That goes that way. That goes that way. So we got our little section there. Just pass that over there so it does connect. I'm hating the fact there's a roundabout here. I really am. It's because you know why? It's because it messes up my nice little flow, doesn't it? That's literally what it is. It messes up my nice little flow. Now, because we directed the traffic in all different places just then with all these issues, we're going to have now major traffic backlogs going on. Major traffic backlogs. So just let them figure this new system out, and us ourselves get it all figured out too. But ultimately, it's just not going to work. So the traffic trying to get down here is now slowly died a death. So it's just a case now of just waiting for it to flow through. So we could do the old lane management. We could do the old give way signs as well for this. But let's sort this out. Anyway, so that goes that way. So I'm trying to get it to kind of filter around a little bit better. Especially on this side, as I want them to funnel out. Now, like I said, I could do the giveaway signs. That is, you know, the most obvious one to do. That's not giveaway signs. Here it is. So you're giving way. Let me just get this right. So here you give way. That way you continue to flow through. Here you give way. Give way there. You give way there. So that allows the traffic to continually flow round. It just keeps moving around the roundabout. And then what we do and what we set up then is here, you turn off there. This one you go straight on. turn off here. This one you go straight on. You turn off here. This one you go straight on. So then you're switching over on that little section in a way. So we kind of keep things moving. So traffic is now moving. Slowly but surely. And we're not that gridlocked. So it is pushing in the right direction. And then I'm just doing this all in stages as well, by the way. So then we make that switch over that way, that switch that way. So now I do the entry points leading on, like what I did on the first one. Like there. So everyone knows, again, what lane they should technically try and be in. To kind of keep us semi-moving. And it is moving. It is slowly moving. But it's not ideal, and I just hate it. I really do. I really do hate doing roundabouts, especially when you do like these beautiful grids and stuff like this, and like these nice layout and designs, and then you have to go and throw one of those in. I bet you next episode you come back and I've done something completely different. I can see it working like that. So we don't really have a backlog of the vehicles from this point down to here. The next issue then is this backlog on the highway is coming from vehicles trying to do a left-hand turn at this point. So then what we say here is, vehicles, if you're doing a left-hand turn there, be in that lane. Otherwise, you go in the right-hand lane. Okay, and then if we make sure it's set the segment before, at least they know which lane they need to be in and can get vehicles on the right side and passing through. So it probably build up on the left hand side, which it always will. But what it shows you is what this shows you is the fact that we need something additional to get these guys from one side to the other, because what's happening right now is not cutting it. Even though we've added this in, it does take some pressure off, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. So we're going to add something additional in. And the problem can also lie in the fact that they're just trying to... It's like vehicles coming from this way, vehicles trying to get up to the highway up here. So we need a way in which we can filter traffic from this downtown area up here. Now, is that something that we can utilize or integrate from this? So, you see these roads here that are also integrated as the turn off of the highway. What if I then turn them into one-way roads? Because they're going one-way roads up to this point. What if they're one-way roads all the way up? And these are one-way roads all the way down. Would that help us out in any way? Because it diverts traffic a little bit differently. And you haven't got the crisscross on this junction because it's a one-way road going all the way down. Maybe, maybe. Or it could be that we're still seeing traffic because it's still, I'm trying to get rid of the backlog. Because the traffic's now kind of slightly, not died down here altogether, but it's kind of dipped down a bit. But we just need something additional, don't we? It's going to bring the traffic in. And out. But then again, it is moving. So you can't really complain too much. But I'm complaining a lot. Does anybody use this anyway? There's a couple of vehicles here. Where are they going? They are... Ah, that's interesting. So they've turned off there to come down here. I take it in to drive across this way. So why can't they just, you know, continue to drive down here? Turn off here. You know, go up, turn off to go down that way. Where is it you're going? Wait, something doesn't feel right. And then you can come down to here. And you turn that way, which obviously works. And you turn off. That's weird to why they're doing that. Why doesn't that got a whole new problem that I just didn't know anything about? Where is it they're going? Oh, it's a snowplow. That's what it is. It's a snowplow. Okay, that's why it's doing that, because it's just trying to clear the snow. I thought it was a truck, you know, just doing the rounds, like a normal truck, cargo truck. There we go. Right, this is still not the obvious choice, the obvious option. So we've got to go a step further. We've got to do something additional to get things going. So if anybody's got any suggestions of how we could approach and tackle this, the issue is they're wanting to get to the highway, okay, and they're tripping over everything in its way to get to the highway. Now at the minute that is the only junction, and they'll favour this one over this one anyway from coming over here because it's the closest one. So we need to do something additional that allows us to bring in maybe a shorter route over there. You can probably then argue maybe we do the one-way road system. That would alleviate some traffic. Or I then have this road, because another problem is the vehicles coming down here to get to over here and turn it there. So what if I just kind of turn this bridge, literally bypasses this whole area and can then drops down here on this junction? That is then my next option, and what that will then solely do is stop people using this bridge to kind of get to one side or the other, then use the highway. But then this road here is a straight road down and back and forth, which also we would be beneficial. And then people coming down here turn off that way, and then you might get people using this one, want to go straight across that way, filter the truck over that side. It's a weird one to kind of play around with. I think what I'll do anyway is probably play around with a few different ideas, a few different designs, see what we can kind of come up with. And you'll probably see the next episode what I kind of went for and what I kind of chose to filter traffic a little bit better. So I'll do a few different experiments. It'll be quite fun to kind of play around with this area. But yeah, moving forward, if I do add more stuff in, I got to solve that traffic issue. It seems to be kind of, again, flowing a bit more now, but it's not what I want. I want there to be no traffic in a way. But I know in an ideal world, in a perfect world, that is not the case. That obviously is not the case, but it's something that we've got to try and solve. So we've got this in anyway, which alleviates some of it. We have this little section in here that will eventually be for this area. But it's a shame that we just kind of have the highway then stop here. I don't know if we can do something that we can use these roads pushing up, but you can see where the traffic then kind of falls. So it could be a combination of doing one-way roads and other stuff, but we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, guys, we're going to end it for here anyway. I hope you did enjoy this episode. We're quite excited to see what I come up with for next episode, and until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good. Bye.